2851 Evangelist, video completion notes. Today we completed kitchen install. Allen Roth cabinets. I'll point out first, the design called for 2 end panels with 1 5/8 inch, here we go, 1 5/8 inch face frame on the end panel here, 1 5/8 inch end panel and face frame here to support this cabinet that will go over the refrigerator. 2 things became an issue. One was this vent in the ceiling. We can see that clearly after the molding has been put in, there is no room for those end panels to exist here. Same thing applied, the end panels would be actually bridging over the top of that. So the customer was satisfied with leaving out the end panels. The customer has them in her stock and will return them to the store. Instead, what we did is we reinforced the cabinet with 1 1/4 inch screws across this side here and the back. Also 1 on this side that's covered up by scribe molding to reinforce the actual structure of the cabinet. And then we put in some blocking to attach this, so screws can go in through this side of the cabinet, this side here, into this wall. 4 total screws going into this side of the wall so that it's very strong. We did let the customer know though, even though we've made these modifications to make it stronger, to not put a lot of weight of storage in there to, just make sure it stays on the wall. One of the things that's interesting is that the customer ordered crown molding, which would stand 2 inches above the top of the cabinets. This space, because the ceiling is under 8 feet, did not allow for that. If we had done the crown molding, it would have made this space 15 inches before the stone went in. The customer was satisfied with us raising the cabinets all the way up to the top of the ceiling. And instead of installing the crown, what we did is actually, because there's no scribe molding in, as part of this order, we actually ripped the crown down to create a on-site scribe molding, which we used because this is the low spot in the ceiling, and there was about 1/4 inch gap or more all the way around here. So to hide that kind of dark spot, we made that scribe molding. We went all the way around behind the cabinets. So it was a really interesting way to solve that issue. You can see we went all the way down with it. This is a flush end cabinet so the scribe molding is right on the face. This one is not a flush end cabinet because again, it was going to have those end panels. So we actually ripped a filler board scrap to 1/4 inch in order to have it so it will neatly line up over this one and then all the way down here. So again, we have the refrigerator cabinet here, fastened to the wall, hardware installed, sink base with 3 modifications, ready for the plumber to take care of their work. We have a corner cabinet with 2 Lazy Susans. The customer's touch-up kit here, remaining hardware for drawers if they were to need any more. Everything's working, lined up properly. Space for the stove, in this case, 30 1/4 inches. So we're all set right there. Design called for filler between these cabinets in order to achieve that space. We also applied some 2x4 blocking to bring the toe kick and the shoe molding out to mimic that spacing. So when the stove is in, it's going to look normal. 1 more corner cabinet with Lazy Susans. And finally, cabinet with a drawer and a shelf. So again, everything lined up. We did have toe kick for this job, which we ran all the way around. The customer had us go ahead and cut the shoe, which is just dry laid in place. It is not fastened because they will be installing the floor and they will actually attach the shoe molding down once the floor is complete. We have a decorative door on the end here. Everything in the cabinets on the walls, simple, just shelves, corner cabinet here. We did install the microwave for the customer, which at this point I will plug in since everything's been cleaned up. and you can see it is functioning. Obviously, modification to the back of this cabinet with the outlet, as well as reattaching their doorbell hardware. Don't really know what that is exactly, but just brought it through the cabinet. Actually did 2 modifications of this cabinet, one for the doorbell wiring and then one for the outlet. This is for the customer's light that the electrician will put in. One other thing I'll point out, the original design called for a floating shelf here. That design that piece of material was not utilized, mainly because there was no end panel for it to attach to. Secondly, it would actually obscure the light from above. So the customer was satisfied with leaving that out of the final construction. And again, she has that on hand and will return it. At this point, we're 100% job complete. Thank you very much.